L'chaim, Eisengruppen, Gitterplon, Ost, Mauthausen, Ravensbrück, the Luftwaffe, Dachau, Auschwitz.
Auschwitz.
Oh, Sarah doesn't like Jews?
No.
Oh, you're raising your hand.
She was raising her hand. She's like, oh, I hate them too.
Raising it like a Hitler kind of raise.
Yeah.
Not like a regular way. She put infants in sacks and trunks and suitcases on the back of a trolley. Survivors stated it was still a better experience than riding in an Uber.
I apologize in advance.
You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a couple of lighthearted episodes, and this is definitely not that.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
We're going to have a gas.
Jeez, that could go either way.
That could, yes.
Who came up with
good.
this episode idea?
Me? Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wanted craziness about the Holocaust. That's what it was.
All right.
So, yeah, this is the Holocaust. No pun intended, or possibly it was intended with the gas comment.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about some incidents that took place in the Holocaust that people may not know as much about. Everybody knows that Hitler and the Nazis killed a lot of people. We're going to get into some of the stories where people were saved and hidden by good Samaritan types, and also some of the pretty fucked up stuff that they did to people as well.
The atrocities.
The atrocities,
And
yes.
the people behind the atrocities.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with three pieces of shit who were sort of the architects of the Holocaust. They really didn't like the Jews or the gays or the handicapped. They were the top three guys in the Nazi regime.
And the killing machine.
Yeah, right. So first we're going to talk about Reinhard Heydrich. He was a high-ranking SS and police official during the Nazi regime, and he was also, actually was the principal architect of the Holocaust. He actually wrote a lot of the literature dictating, the final solution and all that stuff.
Yup.
He held the rank of the SS Obergruppenführer, and many historians regarded him as one of the darkest figures within the Nazi regime. Hitler himself, Adolf Hitler, described him as the man with the iron heart.
Yeah, that's how messed up he was.
Right.
I think, wasn't Hulk Hogan's cardiologist say that about him too?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got iron, he'll be fine. He's got 30 more years. No, that poor guy.
Right.
No, also, when you mention this Reinhard guy, a lot of people don't know about him. Everybody knows about Hitler and Himmler and Rudolf Hess, but nobody really knows about this piece of shit. And he was the darkest.
He was, and he was instrumental in the deaths of many, many Jews and other people too. In September of 1941, Hitler appointed him as the acting Reich protector of Bohemia and Moravia, which is now the Czech Republic. And at the Wannsee Conference in 1942, Heydrich presented plans authorized by Hitler himself for the European-wide final solution of the Jewish question. Like I said, he wrote all of that. He came up with the whole gassing and killing and just, murder of
diagrams.
Of people. Right.
I mean, he had it down to his science.
He did, yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I have a question.
Yeah.
I've never heard of final solution. In short, does it
It's
just
basically
mean...
like Trump's immigration plan.
Yes, that's the perfect way to say. Get rid of them all.
Yeah. No, I mean, the final solution was basically the elimination of all Jews throughout Europe.
Completely.
So it was more than just a statement. It was an actual plan of how to get rid of
a step-by-step plan.
many people.
And to get people on board with it. Because I guarantee you, at the start, you asked a lot of German people, hey, how do you feel about us fucking just killing all of them?
Yeah, because there were German Jews.
Yeah.
There were Jews from Germany.
Understood.
But
Right.
all the
Right.
propaganda and the brainwashing and convincing that they're just degraded scum.
Yeah, they're just lower forms of human,
They're the reason we lost the first war. Oh, yeah. Then...
Right.
So in 1942, Czech paratroopers actually succeeded in rolling a hand grenade under a Heydrich's vehicle as he was traveling to Prague. The blast sent shards into his back and legs, seriously wounding him, but did not kill him, sadly. However, a few months later, he did die from an infection that was brought on by the assassination attempt, and Hitler ordered some pretty extreme retaliatory attacks against the Czech population, and specifically the town where it occurred. They went in there and just fucked these guys up, which was, crazy.
Another crazy thing is there was the Nazi physician named Karl Gebhardt who oversaw the health of this Reinhard guy, and he denied him sulfonamide.
Yeah.
That's a great antibiotic, and it was almost 100% factual. It would heal him.
It would have healed him, yeah.
But it was still kind of new, and he didn't really want to do it, so he literally was the killing factor of him. Yeah.
Well, good.
So much that when Gebhardt was hired as another Nazi physician at Ravensbrück, and we'll talk about that later, he was forced by Himmler to try the antibiotic on all these people you're going to do these horrible tests on, hoping that it fails to clear your name because you're under the fucking radar right now.
Yeah. Right. So next we're going to talk about Heinrich Himmler. He is a little bit more well known, but he was sort of the almost second in command as far as, Hitler and then Himmler. He was probably worse than Heydrich. In fact, he was the guy that promoted Heydrich to his positions of power. Himmler, I don't think he answered to anybody other than Hitler, really. He was the principal enforcer of Nazi racial policies. Himmler was responsible for operating concentration and extermination camps, as well as forming the Eisengruppen, which was the death squads in the German-occupied Europe. In this capacity, he played a central role in the genocide of an estimated 5.6 million Jews and the deaths of millions of other victims during the Holocaust. So yeah, he was a piece of shit.
Just put that in perspective. If you're like driving down the road, you look to the left and then you see a fawn on the road, you hit the fawn, you kill the fawn. That's not good. You're like, oh man, this fucking sucks.
Right.
He killed 5.6 million Jews, and he's just walking through these concentration camps like he's, just a good old day.
Right.
It's like, how?
They just thought of them as rats. They were just nothing.
Less than human. Just, whoa.
I'd like to interject that I'd like to stand up for rats, but I will keep it short and just for the record.
Okay.
Fumigate them.
Yeah.
No.
I'm turning into
Everyone
Himmler
has
already.
a life.
Not good.
Rats have a life.
This is how it starts.
This is how it starts.
The rat's life is just important to the rat as our life is important to us.
As long as
I'm done.
Jewish rat ass doesn't get in my cheese, then it's time.
Right.
Sorry about that. No.
So a day before the launch of Operation Barbarossa, which was the invasion of the Soviet Union, which was pretty stupid on their part,
Huge mistake.
Yeah. They didn't take any notes when Napoleon failed to invade Russia, and they did it themselves. Himmler commissioned the drafting of the Generplan Ost, which was Germany's plan for the settlement, capture, and genocide of large-scale races such as the Slavs, Eastern European Jews.
Say it, baby. No.
This was approved by Hitler in 1942 and resulted in the deaths of approximately 14 million people in Eastern Europe. So these were not all Jews. A lot of different races here. The death toll there is crazy high. Yeah.
It's insane.
In the final years of World War II, Hitler appointed Himmler as commander of several fronts and armies. However, Himmler failed to achieve his assigned objectives. Realizing the war was lost, Himmler attempted, without Hitler's knowledge, to open peace talks with the Allies. What a fucking pussy.
Yes.
When Hitler learned of this, he obviously dismissed him from all posts and ordered his arrest. Himmler actually attempted to go into hiding, but was captured by British forces, where he committed suicide while in British custody on May 23rd of 1945. What a fucking pussy, man.
He looked like a pussy. He was a tiny little beady-eyed piece of shit.
He was. He has like the Hitler stash too.
Oh yeah.
But he wears glasses. He just looks like a greasy, sausage-eating motherfucker.
I hate that guy.
Yeah. And then obviously we can't do a podcast episode on the Holocaust without talking about old Adolf Hitler himself, right?
Yup.
So Hitler was born in Austria and moved to Germany in 1913. He was decorated during his service in the German army in World War I, receiving a couple of Iron Crosses and some other decorations. he was a courier. He would run messages from the back all the way to the front. And, this could be dangerous because one of the key parts of war is communication. So just like in life, right, Sarah?
Yeah. Lack of communication.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was wounded several times delivering messages to the front. And in 1921, Hitler was appointed leader of the Nazi Party. In 1923, he attempted to seize government power in a failed coup in Munich. And he was sentenced to 5 years in prison, serving only 1. And while in prison, he dictated. He was talking and someone was just writing for him.
Oh, yeah.
But this is where he started writing his autobiography and political manifesto of Mein Kampf.
He was sentenced to 5 years and he only served 1.
Yeah.
Do you have the same lawyer as P. Diddy?
Yeah.
What the hell's up with that? That's crazy.
Cool. Yeah, ironically, his lawyer was probably a Jewish. After his release in 1924, he gained popular support for attacking the Treaty of Versailles, which was an important peace treaty that marked the end of World War I. Because the Germans were assholes for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, they were bad.
Did they eat blood sausage? Are they the blood sausage people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was promoting anti-Semitism, anti-communism, and he was... This is true. He was a charismatic orator. He could talk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you see these people that, at these big speeches he did, and they're just like going wild for fucking Hitler.
Yep.
Crazy.
He was energetic and...
I've never heard him speak. If I have, it was very short and I don't recall.
Well, he does a lot of yelling.
Have you
Yeah,
guys
and
heard
pounding.
him speak for
Yes.
more than a few seconds?
Like
or-
Cooper said,
Okay.
the German language, they sound mad all the time.
It's very
Yeah,
brutal.
and maybe
matter
I
what.
have. It just isn't sticking.
Like
Okay.
they could say, "Hey, I like your scarf," and it comes out. It's like it's very intense
Yeah.
and loud, and
Yeah.
it's not good.
So Hitler's obviously the most well-known, Nazi. He was also obviously a big architect of the whole Holocaust.
So during World War One, he had a mustache that was like long, and
Did
it
he?
kind of curled out, and he had to cut it to make it room for a gas mask to fit his
yeah.
face tight.
Yep.
So that's how he got the mustache he had now. He trimmed it all the way down under his nostrils, and he kept it.
He's
That
just like,
was-
this looks good.
Yeah.
I like a little piece of shit under the dirty Sanchez under my nose.
Yes.
Looks like he just licked some ass.
Yes.
Do you guys want to take a minute and talk about what your mustaches look like for those listeners that don't know?
It's not that bad.
It doesn't look like Hitler's.
It doesn't. No, I just thought we'd take a moment.
Good grief. But you don't want to know what's in my mustache. It's not good. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk now about some of the fucked up human experimentation that the Nazis did. These are pretty brutal. We found it hard to joke about some of this stuff.
Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah. So various doctors conducted horrific human experiments at concentration camps during World War II. Some of the, as I quote doctors, were Edward Reitz and the chief SS doctor was the chief SS doctor at Auschwitz. Obviously, a lot of people know Josef Mengele, often dubbed the Angel of Death. Arbert Ferdinand Heim, known as Dr. Death, and the Butcher of Mauthausen.
Oof.
These were some fucked up dudes. I think they would have been serial killers otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just giving free reign to do whatever the fuck they wanted.
United Healthcare based their whole system on what they're doing. This is good. It's all
did.
right.
One of the types of experiments that was done was blood coagulation experiments. They were conducted on prisoners using a substance called polygal, which was made from beet and apple pectin. The doctors predicted that the preventative use of these tablets would reduce bleeding from surgery and gunshot wounds. To test them, these fucking assholes, they would give them the tablets first, and then after a week or two, they would start just hacking off limbs and shooting them in the neck and just amputating limbs without anesthesia to test whether their blood would coagulate and, they wouldn't bleed out.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Wow.
And on top of that, the fucking Nazis used prison labor from the concentration camps to manufacture these fucking tablets. So they forced them to take them. They shot them. They hacked off limbs, and then they made their fellow Jews manufacture these things. That's insult to injury, man.
They're not going backwards at all.
No. Some experiments that took place at Ravensbrück concentration camp were conducted to study bone, muscle, and nerve regeneration. You can probably see where this is going to go.
Ooh, this gets bad.
Yeah. Some of the bone transplants were done from one person to another in these experiments. Subjects had their bones, muscles, and nerves removed without anesthesia. Obviously, many victims died or suffered permanent disability. Prisoners were also experimented on by having bacteria injected directly into their bone marrow to study the effectiveness of new drugs being developed for use on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was it Ravensbrück? Is that how we say it?
Ravensbrück.
Ravensbrück. Yes. It was a camp that held over 50,000 women.
Yeah.
Women. By 1945, it was rampant with women. With 50,000 people, well, there's a 1 week at the end of the month, even the fucking SS guards would leave because they're like, nah, these bitches are too crazy for me. I'll come back in a week. Not good. No, within the camp, there was a group of approximately 75 Polish women known as the Rabbits of Ravensbrück. Mm-hmm. They were test subjects chosen because they had shown opposition to the Germans when they tried to take over Poland.
Yeah.
The rabbits had banded together during this horrific experimental testing as a tight-knit group. Their legs had been slashed and infections were rampant. Some women had their muscles removed from their body.
Jeez.
They couldn't use their legs or feet at all. The women wanted proof of the experiments, so they would secretly take photos of their cuts and mutilations. Their legs looked like my Aunt Debbie's when she was forced to shave them after 4 months of letting them go because there's a wedding coming up. All bloody and scabbed and gross.
Yeesh, yeah.
That is true, too. It was like, what the fuck's wrong with your legs? You got scabies? Anyway, no. They hoped to develop the photos later to show proof of what the SS doctors put them through. Also, it's women, so they would definitely want to save those photos and upload them when Instagram becomes created.
Right.
You know women.
Yeah. Look at our summer in Ravensbrück.
Yes. Several women had died from infection or other effects of the dirty surgeries that were performed on them, but more than 60 of them survived. One day, the remaining women learned of their upcoming execution date, which was February 4th, 1945. Mm-hmm. February 4th, the same day Facebook was founded. So
Really?
Yeah, throw it out there.
Wow, okay.
When the SS geared up to take the rabbits during the morning call, they were just going to shoot them all dead. The rabbits of Ravensbrück were already hiding. They were already gone. All the other fellow inmates helped them with an incredible plan to escape, people taking them and hiding them in various locations and providing them with food and water for survival.
Wow, that's awesome.
And they did it for months and months. So when they got out and their grandkids were like, are you any good at playing hide and seek? Motherfucker, you ain't going to find shit. Yes.
Right, yeah.
No, the prisoners removed the rabbits to different locations and even played tricks on the SS. Prisoners working as electricians would cut the power to the areas where the rabbits were being housed, so that deterred the SS for even looking for them there.
Yeah.
Like, there's no power, there's nobody in there, let's not mess with it.
Right.
So it went on for months and miraculously saved the rabbits of Ravensbrück. The over 60 women that had been cared for and survived were finally able to testify in the Nuremberg trials that started in late 1945.
Yeah, I bet they had a lot to say, too.
Oh, yeah. That is just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nazis were notorious for killing specifically pregnant women. Automatic death sentence almost going into, the concentration camps. So, yeah, women didn't get a very good shake at all, comparatively. Yeah, man, that's a crazy story.
I was watching a documentary. Somebody was, I think it was Auschwitz. They were in the barracks, and the barracks had windows, and they could talk to people outside the barracks. And the barracks were next to the line that was lined with roses that led you right to the showers, the gas.
Oh, yeah.
And people coming off the trains would get off, and they'd start waving and talking to the people in the barracks, like, hey, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful day, because they thought they were just going to get their head shaved and take a shower and be deloused and all that.
Yeah.
And they have no idea they have like 20 minutes to live, and these people couldn't tell them. They didn't have the heart to tell them, you're going to be dead in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but like they would actually have Jews that had been in the concentration camps, and especially for like the children, and because the kids would be like, oh, I don't want to go in there or whatever. They'd just be like, it's okay, it's going to be fine. They would like tell them like it's going to be fine, and then they get in there, they lock the doors and gas them
completely.
crazy.
That's just wild. Even they said some of the kids that weren't afraid, they said, I was watching these kids with their toys in their hands running to get into the showers first. Like it was a race and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be great.
It's like, oh my goodness. And you see it every single day.
Yep.
Oof.
Some of the other experiments that were done were conducted by the Luftwaffe, which was the German Air Force. And they conducted experiments with the intent of discovering means to prevent and treat hypothermia. You know, back then, the planes were not like they are today. They were probably really cold, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Big
being
time.
high up and things like that. And, you know, you get shot down, you know, you're in fucking Siberia. So victims were placed naked in the open air with temperatures as low as -6. They also used them for various rewarming of the victims. One victim would later testify that some were thrown into boiling water to rewarm them. Like, you don't have to be a scientist to be like, boiling hot water is definitely going to rewarm their ass.
Yeah, no.
Pieces of shit, man. So the Germans were not prepared for the cold weather encountered on the Eastern Front in Russia. And many experiments were conducted on Soviet troops because, the Nazis didn't like the Soviets. The Nazis wondered if their genetics gave them resistance to the cold, which is kind of stupid. But yeah, they just did a bunch of these tests on a lot of Soviets too to try to figure out if, hey, why are these guys able to withstand the cold so much better than us? Well, it's probably because they had coats,
long johns,
and boots,
and
and your dumbasses marched up there in like your summer uniforms or whatever.
Yeah.
Stupid ass Nazis. So some of the mass murders, these are kind of hard to listen to probably. There was one that took place, and this was in actually the Ukraine, right outside of Kyiv, in just 2 days. 33,000 Jews were killed. They were forced to undress and walk to the ravine's edge, where the German soldiers would shoot them and throw them into the ravine. And then after that, they just took like bulldozers and like filled in this ravine, and there was people in there that was like they were still alive, some of them. So 33,000 people in 1 day.
That's insane.
Crazy. You ever notice wherever this shit happens, these fucking Nazis, they always make everybody get buck ass naked.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I think it's because they wanted to take all their belongings and stuff.
Yep.
Like, which is fucked up. Jewish prisoners called the Sonderkommando were forced to work for the Nazis, and they would do all sorts of pretty messed up stuff, like bury corpses or burn them in the giant ovens. Because the Nazis did not want witnesses, most of these guys were regularly put to death in the gas chambers. And it's estimated that fewer than 20 out of several thousand survived. Some of them would write their testimonies and then put them in jars and bury them in the concentration camp so that there would be a record of what happened. It's kind of ironic, too, that these guys were dependent on Jews constantly being brought to the concentration camps for staying alive, because as long as there's people coming in to help with the genocide, they have a use.
Yeah.
You know?
They were held in different barracks. They were given more food.
Yeah, they were treated a little bit better.
They were treated a little bit better, so they kind of believed in this system, and they started hating the Jews too.
I know
then
the psychological thing is pretty messed up.
It's intense.
Yeah,
but also they knew this is their path to survival.
Right.
They're watching everybody else starving to death and getting beat, and now they can eat and they're not getting beat.
Right. But they had to do some pretty messed up stuff to stay alive, including, like I said, burn their people.
Yeah, and they had to be held in different barracks, because how do you go back?
They would beat the shit out of them, right?
Yeah.
It'd be
Yes.
It'd be like being a cop in Gin Pop.
Yes. It'd be like Bill Clinton leaving the Oval Office with Monica and going to bed with Hillary. Hey, you know, not good. You know something bad's happening.
Right. So as Jews fled Europe under Hitler's rule, representatives from 32 countries met in Evian, France to discuss the growing refugee crisis. And this is kind of interesting. Great Britain said it had no room to accommodate Jewish refugees. Australia said, we don't have a racial problem and we don't want to import one. Canada, of all places, said of the Jews that none was too many.
Wow.
Holland and Denmark offered temporary asylum, but only for a small number of refugees. Only the Dominican Republic offered to take about 100,000 Jews, but their relief agencies were so overwhelmed that only a small number of them were able to take advantage of the offer. A German foreign officer later wrote, essentially saying that in the light of these responses, the world could not blame the Nazis for not wanting the Jews, which
It's kind of true.
is kind of true. Like,
Yeah.
why so many people back then didn't like, I mean, still to this day, oh, Sarah doesn't like Jews?
No.
Oh,
no.
you're raising your hand.
She was raising her hand. She's like, oh, I hate them too.
Raising it like a Hitler kind of raise.
Yeah.
Not like a regular wave.
What was the U.S.'s response?
I don't know. I didn't find anything specific to Jews in the U.S. A lot of there was New York, there, even back then, there was a big Jewish community. A lot of them were German Jews, too.
But it was hard because the war is ramping up. You can't just go in there and just take them and all that. Everything's getting blown to pieces. They knew something big was going, so. When you were talking about this mass murderer, the ravine outside of Kyiv,
Yeah.
there are piles of these dead bodies, and like you said, some weren't dead. I was watching a documentary, and it showed this little boy running through these fields of piles of dead bodies. He's a little German boy, and he's running through the fields. He's got a handful of flowers in his hands, and he's just living and laughing and smiling. And what they don't show you is the huge piles are still moving, almost like waves.
Like people are trying to get out or something?
People are still, for days, people were doing whatever they could to get out, but they're dead. Ugh.
Yeah. Like we said a few minutes ago, when the Jews and other prisoners were brought into the concentration camps and death camps, there was a selection. Pregnant women, small children, the sick and handicapped, and the elderly were immediately condemned to death.
Which is weird, because pregnant women, small children, the sick, handicapped, and the elderly are the same people that are in your way at your local grocery store all the time.
That's true. At Auschwitz alone, over 1.1 million Jews were murdered, in addition to about 20,000 Poles, 19,000 Gypsies, and about 12,000 Soviet prisoners of war.
Oof.
Yeah, Auschwitz was the largest death camp, concentration camp in history. It wasn't just one camp, it was 3. There was a concentration camp, a death camp, and then a slave labor camp. And it was 19 square miles, and it was staffed and guarded by about 6,000 men.
19 square miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so another messed up thing the Nazis did was they shaved everybody's head when they came in, right? Women, children, whatever. They would process that hair into felt and thread, and the hair was also used to make socks for submarine crews. God, that's fucked up. Ignition mechanisms and bombs, ropes and cords for ships, and for stuffing mattresses. Like, they want to kill the Jews, but they're like, nah, we'll sleep on a Jewish mattress.
Yeah. Awesome for your lumbar. It's amazing. Yes.
That's fucked up.
Whoa.
So the camp commanders were required to submit monthly reports on the amount of hair collected, and British troops found Nazis had used human skin for lampshades as well. So, like, full-on fucking Buffalo Bill
shit.
Right.
My goodness.
This is kind of, sad too. A lot of Jews and other, prisoners of war, after being liberated from the camps, would die because they would eat a lot of food, like, too quickly. And in some cases, they were given chocolates and sweets and different things from, like, friendly soldiers, and they would die. Prisoners that were liberated from Dachau were dying at a daily rate of 200 per day after being freed.
After being freed.
That's crazy.
Oh, that is just...
So some of the stuff that happened after the war had ended. So between 1945 and 1985, we were alive when this was still happening. Approximately 5,000 Nazi war criminals were executed and 10,000 were imprisoned. Others were given jobs by U.S. intelligence agencies, but that's a different episode.
Yeah, that's us being a piece of shit. Yep.
Right. How come they never told us in school that there was still executing Nazis in 1985? Madonna and Bruce Springsteen are, like, topping the charts, and then in other news, we killed some more Nazi war criminals, folks.
Yeah. Like that Mengele, he lived in, Brazil?
Yeah, he died from drowning. He was, like, taking a swim in the ocean, and he drowned.
It should have been Jewish piss. He should have fucking drowned on that.
Right.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. In 1945, the Allies powers created the International War Crimes Tribunal, which included judges from the United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, and France. They let France in, too. And never before in history had the losers of a war been held to answer for their crimes before an international court. We dropped a couple of nukes and we didn't have to do shit.
Yeah. Nope. You don't want us to drop a couple more, do you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll do it fucking again.
We can plead the fifth or we can push a button. What the fuck do you want? That'd be horrible.
Oh, jeez, yeah. After the war ended, squads of militant Jews actually spread across Europe and attempted to track down and execute SS officers that had gone into hiding. A Lithuanian Jew named Abba Kovner formed a group called the Avengers.
Yes.
And I found this kind of cool thing. It's never been confirmed, but a lot of rumors that Stan Lee, the creator of a lot of Marvel comic book characters, who was Jewish, named the Marvel Avengers after this group of freedom fighters. It was kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah. To this day, and it's kind of been more prevalent lately, there's a lot of people who deny the Holocaust and argue that the Nazi concept of a final solution always meant only the immigration of Jews. That kind of sounds a lot like, ICE.
Yeah. Straight up ICE.
Yeah. So, yeah, they wanted to prevent the immigration of Jews, not their extermination. And the Jews that were, quote, missing from Europe after 1945 are assumed to have resurfaced in the U.S., Israel, and elsewhere as illegal immigrants. For many deniers or revisionists, the Holocaust was invented by the Jews to serve their own financial and political ends.
Yeah, if they want to deny a lot of stuff, you got to look at the massive amounts of bodies.
Right. I mean, there's pictures, there's all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
so,
yes. Yeah. I love how, who was it? Was it Eisenhower? Forced everybody in Germany in these places that were super close to the concentration camps to walk through and witness all of it.
Oh, yeah. I did hear about that. Yeah.
Some people would just go home and just kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's like so graphic and so intense.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Yeah.
They tried restoring order. Well, they're freeing these camps, and of course, there's still Nazi guards at a lot of these camps, and they're trying to stop the Jews from killing the guards and all that. And then when they started seeing all this, the best thing ever the U.S. did is we started giving them tools and weapons to fuck them up.
Yes,
here you go. Even Patton was like, two wrongs don't make a right, but what they did, there has to be a form of justice.
Right, yeah.
So fuck them up.
Yeah.
So here are some crazy Holocaust stories. And when I put a twist at the end of it, it's just, when you see how these play out, it's like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
All right.
These are interesting.
There's a lady named Irina Sendler. She was a Polish nurse who used her papers as a Polish social worker and a worker of the Contagious Disease Department to enter the Warsaw Ghetto and administer aid to the sick and the dying. So she was kind of like an Aryan safe Polish kind of woman. So she can go in and out and come home to freedom and all that.
Right.
And this is how bad the Warsaw Ghetto was. There were over 450,000 Jews crammed into this tiny little ghetto.
Yep.
Homes that went from housing 3 to 5 people on average end up housing 25 people per house.
Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible conditions. Yeah.
Horrendous. And you're locked in there with no food.
Right.
Disease spread rapidly. People went from 700 calories a day to just 170 calories in a day.
Yeah.
The filth, crime, and unsanitary conditions were unfathomable. If you want to know what it looks like in real life, just take a leisurely drive through the state of Pennsylvania. What a fucking shithole that place is. I went there once. Saw all these people covered in like black soot, and they're not even coal miners. They're just regular fucking people. I'm over it. So Irina would convince these parents of all, like the Jewish parents and the Holocaust victims.
Yeah.
She'd convince them to let her smuggle their kid out of the ghetto and reunite them back when the war was over. And she would smuggle them through the church on the edge of the Warsaw Ghetto that divided the Aryan side from the Polish side. Mm-hmm. There's literally a church that, like, you go in the front door and you're still stuck in the ghetto. You walk out the back door and you're free.
Right.
It's crazy, but it was highly policed by the Nazis.
Right.
And some kids, they learned a whole bunch of Catholic prayers and they learned to talk in the Polish dialect. And the Nazis believed them. They'd go in the church and go out the other side and they're free. They think they're just part of the church.
That's awesome.
She'd sedate the babies to make them look like they were dead and hide kids in an ambulance under the stretcher. She'd put infants in sacks and trunks and suitcases on the back of a trolley. Survivors stated it was still a better experience than riding in an Uber. No. She had a German Shepherd. She trained her German Shepherd to bark on command, so the Nazis couldn't hear the babies whimper, and it would distract the Nazis too.
Right.
Like
yeah.
she put these babies in the sack that she had.
Yeah.
Put almost like a cardboard piece on top of it, and throw tools on top of it.
Ah, yeah.
And if she rubbed her fingers, her dogs would lose their shit, so they couldn't hear it.
That's awesome.
Older kids were led through sewer tunnels under the ghetto and met with her team called the Zgoda. The Zgoda was a Polish underground group that assisted in saving Jews and others from the Nazi regime. And then they would help them relocate these kids after the war was over. Running through the sewers makes me think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Jews. That would be a great cartoon.
L'chaim!
Yes. Some kids were put in the bottom.
They didn't eat pizza. They just ate some bagels and schmear.
Yeah, but they didn't eat that fucking chocolate. They start barfing uncontrollably. Yeah. Could you imagine being a soldier and you're trying to do a good thing and hand food to these people and they're just throwing up violently?
Yeah, they were so malnourished. They couldn't handle all that sugar at once.
Oh, yeah. Even years later, if you survived, you're like going through your Easter basket. I'm like, who the fuck put a Nestle bar? Some kids were put in the bottom of a casket that had holes cut out so they could breathe. And then they would have like dead bodies placed on top of them.
Yeesh.
Very similar to how Catherine Zeta-Jones describes having sex with Michael Douglas. That fucker is old all of a sudden. My goodness, he's so old. If the Nazis ever questioned her, she would tell them that these people were very sick and highly contagious.
Ah, yeah, that's
and they didn't want a part of it. They'd cover their faces and just let her pass through. Some kids were wrapped in burlap and placed in a bag with tools on top of them, like I said.
Yeah.
Imagine Christmas morning at her house. What did Irina get you? You look surprised. Is it the new iPhone? No, it's a fucking Jewish baby. How many times did I ask for socks? I'm not getting any socks. Irina would take their Jewish name and encode it with their new Christian Catholic name.
Right.
And write it down on rolling papers, like zigzags, and shove it in a jar and bury that jar until the war was over so she could reunite them with their family. These kids were sent to Catholic orphanages and Polish families. Some boys were dressed up as girls and dyed their hair blonde. This is probably the start of the new trans movement. I know, she hid their names right in front of the Nazis, too. This is the best part. She hid them directly across the street from the German barracks under an apple tree is where she put the jars.
Yeah, you told me about this one, yeah.
How fucking awesome is that? Well, she got caught. When the Nazis noticed a suspicious Zgoda post box in the ghetto at a laundry owner's business, they beat that laundry owner almost to her death until she confessed everything about Irina Sendler. So on October 20th, 1943, the Gestapo came knocking on her door. They kicked everybody out of the apartment. They just wanted Irina. Irina handed a list of names to her friend, and her friend hid it under her armpit. And the Gestapo flipped her house upside down, looking for anything that could indict her even more.
Yeah.
They sent her to a Pawiak prison, and that is a place where they always get their questions answered through torture. They broke both of her arms, both of her legs, beat her mercilessly, actually broke her jaw.
Yeah.
And she never gave up one name.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's just going to get better when you find it's this like there's no fucking way this happened.
Yeah.
She was sentenced to death, and somehow the Zgoda bribed a Nazi guard the equivalent of $100,000 today to spare her life. She was literally walking to her execution by gunfire when she got diverted to another building. This Nazi guy took her, pulled her aside, and pushed her into another building.
Wow.
Later that night, she could hear her name called on the bullhorn for everybody in the whole town to hear that she was killed for her crimes against the Reich. She could hear cheering, and it was like fireworks. It was like a huge celebration. This bitch is dead.
Yeah.
When she snuck out, she remembered it was weeks and weeks later after she finally healed. She snuck out, and she could remember seeing posters of her saying that she was executed all through the streets. Schindler saved 1,500 people. Irina, when it was all said and done, saved 2,500 by herself.
Wow.
Yeah. And nobody really ever heard about this until 1999, when a Kansas high school teacher named Norm Conrad asked his class to research and write a play about a historical figure, a historical hero, somebody that made a big difference. And he wanted to kind of emphasize maybe the Holocaust or something like that.
Norm Conrad is such like a Midwest name.
It is.
Like old Norm.
Yes.
Old Norm, the history teacher.
Some old guy showed me his penis. Norm.
Norm.
Yeah. That'd be so bad. 4 girls in his class wanted to do one on somebody from the Holocaust, so they found an article in the teacher's suggestion box called The Other Schindlers. When they did an internet search on this Irina Sendler, they were faced with two problems. One, they spent 20 minutes deleting all the child porn off the teacher's
There
computer.
we go. There it is.
There it is.
I knew it was coming.
No. Okay. The problem was there was only one site, and it was a one-paragraph synopsis. It was like 3 sentences about her, and that's it. So they found out that she was alive, living in Warsaw.
Wow. So she never left.
Yeah. Fuck that. That's like not only living in the same house as your uncle that molested you, but sleeping in the same fucking bed and semen-stained sleeping bag that the incident occurred.
Maybe it's nice in Warsaw. I don't know.
Get the fuck out of Warsaw. My goodness.
Right.
Do you know any Vietnam veterans that are like, I'm going to stick around?
Yeah,
No
true.
fucking
Yeah,
way.
they're like, we're getting the fuck out of here. Yeah.
I like the smell of napalm. And there's no. They write her a letter, and she responds back and tells them her entire story.
Wow.
They went over there, and they visited her. Well, actually, what happened is the girl's play is called Life in a Jar, and it created such a huge buzz. Everybody heard about it. There was a Jewish guy who was a Holocaust survivor in the gymnasium at the time.
Oh, yeah.
The girls were selling candy bars to go meet Irina, and he goes, well, how much have you guys, saved up? And they said, $75. Mm-hmm. And he kind of laughed and goes, let me get a hold of you guys tomorrow. Let me make some phone calls. He paid for all 4 girls to go and meet her in real life.
That's awesome.
It was just unbelievable. So really cool. Anyway, Irina's online search went from 1 hit to 700,000. And this is before Instagram and TikTok and all that.
Yeah, in 1999, like, that would have been millions, like what today.
Oh, yeah. It would have been like that billion mark now.
Right.
The best part is, after it got all this huge buzz and everybody heard about it and people were finding out more and more and they can't believe this amazing story, it landed her a Nobel Peace Prize nomination.
Oh, good, yeah.
And guess who she lost to? Yup. Bitch-ass Al Gore for his research on global warming.
What?
Are you fucking serious? They gave it to him for that.
Al Gore? Oh, man, that's the worst.
The only hell he went through on his global warming research was him getting Dutch oven by his wife Tipper.
She saves all these Jews.
Both legs broke. Both arms
legs
broke.
Yeah, broken body, like almost
Minutes.
executed.
Yes.
And Al Gore gets it for saving the whales.
Fucking global warming. I mean, global warming's big, but still, are you fucking serious?
Give it to Al Gore next year. Fuck.
Yeah, he should have declined it and
He
gave
should
it to
have.
Irina.
He should
That
have,
would have been the
piece of
smart
shit.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, even with Obama. Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize, and, oh, it's great, blah, blah, and then people started looking into it, and they even asked him, why'd you get the Nobel Peace Prize? He
Right.
could not fucking answer.
Yeah.
If anybody should have got it, Rosa Parks should have got it. Seriously,
Right.
She did something landmark. Anyway, they wrote the play Life in a Jar, and that is also the name of the sperm bank outside the Kansas high school. I'm just joking, no. But yeah, can you believe that?
Yeah, that's insane.
Went through all of that hell.
Yeah.
And the struggle. The craziest thing is, at the end, she went back when the whole war's over. She dug up the jars. She got all the names, and she wanted to reunite all the families, and she's trying to convince these kids who they are and where they came from and what's going on. And it was crazy heartbreaking. No families.
They had been killed.
Oh, yeah. They said over 85% of all parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles were dead.
Wow.
It's like, oh my goodness. So,
Yeah, that's
and she
crazy
saved
sad.
a lot of lives.
Yeah,
but
she saved them. She saved a lot, though, for sure.
But she didn't save the damn whales. So
Right.
what the fuck?
So nobody gave a shit.
The next one, awesome guy, Sir Nicholas Winton. Amazing man. He was a British stockbroker who was very successful, but he obviously didn't invest in anything the Brits would shy away from, like toothpaste, floss, whitener. I'm never going to get over that. Anyway,
that's good. I like
in
that.
1939, he took a 2-week vacation in Prague and ended up with 2,000 kids, is the joke. Okay? What we call the Nick Cannon story is what we call it now, but no.
Man, he's got so many kids.
Does.
Yeah.
Crazy. No, he realized the war was coming in 1939 because he just went to Prague for business, and he saw everything that's going on. He could hear the buzz, and he's realizing, oh my goodness, there's all these kids that have no refuge.
Yeah.
So he assisted in the rescue of 669 Jewish children by train cart. He did this by compiling a list of the kids in danger, went through the legal requirements to bring them to Britain to find them homes and sponsors for them. And he did all this by train, an
Wow.
operation called Kindertransport, which is German for children's transport.
Right, yeah.
And he funded it all by himself. Nobody knew about this for 50 years until his nosy-ass wife found a scrapbook of photos and a list of kids he helped rescue. And she's like, what's going on with all this? What a great out he has for other things. Like when she finds his stack of porn that says save on his laptop, he's in the clear. Honey, I'm still trying to save people, you selfish bitch. The hell, yes, no.
There's no naked ladies in there. That's just pictures of ladies I'm saving.
Yup. Got a fucking handful of ones. I'm leaving to rescue the poor souls at the local strip club now. Don't wait up. In 1988, his wife tricked him into going to a television show that everybody knew about. It was like it wasn't like the Tonight Show, but everybody knew in Britain. It's called That's Life.
Okay.
Just as a spectator, he got front row seats, his wife sitting next to him, not knowing he would be reunited with the survivors and their family.
Oh, wow, okay.
The host came out during the show, and the first thing this host says is there anyone who owes their life to Nicholas Winton? His eyes got big. It's all on video. You got to see it. It's really cool. His eyes got big, and he's looking around, and the room stood up. And the look on his face was amazing. Later, he complained, I saved thousands of lives and not even one hand job for it. No, he didn't
It's
say
understandable.
that. He didn't say that. But he was knighted by the Queen in 2003.
Oh, wow, okay. That's a big deal in England.
I would love it if he said, even right now, I can smell the rotting bodies from the Holocaust. And one of the Queen's bodyguards says, no, right now you're just smelling the stench from the Queen's disgusting teeth.
Yeah.
The Holocaust, oh man, what is, I still never get over that.
It's because all they eat is beans. Yeah. Beans and toast.
Dark tea and...
That's their whole diet.
Oh my goodness. Sir Nicholas Winton's accolades include being knighted by the Queen, declared an honorary citizen of Prague by the Czech Republic. If that was me, I would drive around that town with my dick out legally.
Right.
Like, yes. And then he also got a letter of thanks from the President of the State of Israel.
Wow.
Wouldn't it be great if all the letter said was, thanks? That's it. Not his fucking name, not his signature, not even a whole thanks, just a THANK. He's so great.
Oh,
so, no,
good.
it was just so amazing that this guy did all this and never wanted any credit for it or nothing. And his wife found out about it, and now it took off.
Wow.
He lived to be like 103, I think it was.
Wow.
He died recently, and he's just a legend.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and these are stories nobody knew about.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
Forever.
Yep.
Other crazy Holocaust things. Hitler's nicknames were Wolf, Führer, and I don't even know how to say it. Teppenfrieser?
Teppenfrieser, yeah. That sounds right.
Which is German for carpet chewer, for real. It is. Because he would get so mad in his debates and all that, they said he could chew carpet.
Yeah.
Wow, lucky Eva Braun. Wouldn't that be a great name for like a WNBA team?
The carpet chewers.
Yes. Yeah, folks, we got the California Carpet Cleaners taking on the Milwaukee Muffin Munchers tonight. And they got to be careful because they lost a close one to the Sacramento Strap-Ons last night, almost knocking them out of playoff contention. Other things. When Schindler died, Jewish Holocaust survivors placed stones on his grave. It's a Jewish tradition of respect and honor. Unlike flowers that wither away, stones don't, symbolizing the lasting nature of memory and the soul's continued existence. I'd still love if one man was seen pissing on his grave and people get all appalled and mad and they realize, oh, he's just trying to pass a kidney stone. He's going to put a stone there. Not yet, but...
Yeah, so if people don't know, Oskar Schindler was another guy that saved a lot of lives. But
yes, big time. But there's like a stigma. What's the stigma? The people think he's still a piece of shit.
Well, he was a piece of shit, kind of. Like, he was a womanizer, and he didn't have a very good reputation to begin with. But he did save a bunch of lives.
Yeah, when the war is over, he like tried getting back into like the business and anything he could do. He filed bankruptcy.
He profited off of basically slave labor, really.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would bring people that were in the concentration camps to his factories to work and things like that. And he was probably paying them next to nothing, but it got him out of the concentration camps and probably saved their lives. Because, you know, if he's saying he's a well-known German businessman, that they're valuable and they're serving a purpose, the Nazis aren't going to kill him, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I still want to see that movie. I need to see it.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah. More shit on the Sunder Commandos.
Yes.
Cooper said earlier, these are prisoners whose job was to dispose of the dead. They also had jobs of ripping the teeth out for gold, sweeping away the ashes of the corpse, I'm shocked Dyson never came up with a concentration camp model that never loses suction or its hatred for Jews. The new anti-Semitic attachment works like a charm.
Who makes Dyson? I feel like it's the Germans.
Oh, yes.
What if it was?
Oh, that'd be so great.
I don't think it's an American company.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I have a friend that was just in Germany this year, and he said everything Nazi-related is banned.
Oh, yeah.
And
They completely turned their back. You know, I heard actually earlier this week that everyone with the Hitler name, anyone from a direct descendant of Hitler, has decided to not reproduce so that his bloodline completely dies out.
Wouldn't it be great if there's a husband that does not want kids, but a wife does?
Yeah.
Hey, bitch, I'm trying to end this.
I'm trying to end this, right. Yeah, it's at that point, though, it's like, damn, we made this promise to the world. Now I really want to fuck some hoes, though.
Yep. Boom. My little fears.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so James Dyson.
Nazi.
It just says that he's a British investor.
Okay.
But visually, he is very white and he is very blonde.
Oh.
British,
and
okay. So
maybe blue-eyed.
He's the Aryan wet dream. Oh, yeah.
all right.
Oh, yeah. The bad part of this job is if you knew too much for these Sunder Commandos, they would kill them.
Yep.
The first job of the new Sunder Commando, the first job he had was to dispose of the body of the person they replaced.
Ooh.
That would suck.
Jeez.
You
You're like seeing your future.
Yeah.
Man.
Completely.
Crazy.
Ugh. Did you know that all Jews had to pay for their ticket to the concentration camps?
What?
They would make them pay for their ticket on the train. But they had a deal. Kids got to ride for free. And that's no joke. That was like their deal to you. Hey, your kids get to ride for free. Good grief.
Yeah, I mean, they were really against children, specifically because that's the next generation of Jews.
Yeah.
And they killed a lot of kids, and like I said, pregnant women, too.
The atrocities are just unfathomable. Could you imagine you're a woman, you're holding your baby's crying, you're standing outside of the concentration camp getting ready to find out which row you're supposed to go into, the gas chamber or to the labor camp.
Right.
There's fires burning everywhere. They're trying to burn the bodies, and this Nazi guard has had enough of your baby screaming, yanks it out of your arms and just throws it in the fire. That has happened a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you really put it in perspective, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really sad, what a person can do to another person, and the Nazis definitely proved that.
Yes. When prisoners enter the camps fresh off the train, they were greeted with obscenely upbeat orchestra music. Mm-hmm. And they were also forced to sing along to the music as they were being pushed towards the gas chambers.
Yep.
The closest thing we have to experience that is when we take our kids to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. I don't want to sing to this shit. I want out of here. Did you know Nazis would make soap out of human fat of the prisoners?
Yeah.
And then it would have some of the prisoners use it when they were allowed to shower?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Yeah, like, you see Fight Club or whatever. They go and, find the fat and they make soap. That's fucked up.
It was all psychological. Everything was death-related.
Yeah.
Food was beyond scarce. They made bread out of sawdust. Sausage was made from mangy horses. Two key ingredients in Sarah's meatloaf. You knew it was coming.
Oh my gosh.
You knew it was coming. Some ate rotted food from the garbage, and there were stories of cannibalism too.
Yeah, I mean the conditions were just unimaginable.
Oh. I saw an emaciated prisoner photo the other day and then realized, it's just Ariana Grande in a bikini.
Oh, jeez.
That bitch is skinny. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Did you know that the Nazis wanted to start their own Gerber baby contest? This is for real. This is no joke. They wanted to look for the perfect looking baby for the Aryan race. And they chose it. And unbeknownst to them, these stupid fuckers, they chose a Jewish baby.
Of course.
They had no idea. There's also a picture of the perfect German soldier.
Uh-huh.
And he was 50% Jewish. They had no idea. It was like way later after all the pictures are printed out and it's all publicized. Then they heard. Idiots. When the Soviets liberated Auschwitz, they found 88 pounds. This is just Auschwitz.
Yeah.
They found 88 pounds of eyeglasses, 12,000 pots and pans, and 7 tons of human hair.
Jeez. They were obsessed with the fucking hair.
They were. The last thing to see that much hair was Tom Selleck's tank top. That dude was too fucking hairy.
He was hairy. He is hairy.
His body consisted of 87% pubic. But that mustache was fucking awesome.
It was.
Rumor has it he nicknamed it the gynecologist because that's where vaginas go to feel better. Yeah, baby.
Yes. So that is our episode on the Holocaust. It was not always pleasant, but hopefully everyone found it to be interesting. We appreciate you listening and your support. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Email us at beforewegetcanceled@gmail.com. Canceled is spelled with 2 L's. Be sure to follow us on your favorite streaming service so you'll be notified of new episodes. And mention us to anyone you know who likes true crime or comedy. My name's Cooper.
I'm Scott.
I'm Sarah.
And we'll see you next time.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.